It's a regular
It's a regular
asparagus.
size asparagus.
And it, I mean,
if anything, it's probably like maybe like a fresh, like a newborn asparagus, like maybe a baby one, but it's still a regular size.
I mean,
asparagus.
look at the dude's fingers. Look at the asparagus.
True, it does
They're
kind of
about the same size.
Yeah.
He has a small Spyderco knife.
Yeah.
Spyderco.
But okay, we are introducing this one.
No.
Yes, no, we're introducing it. We're gonna
just
introduce
gonna
it from the
confuse
beginning.
Everyone.
No,
Everyone's gonna be very confused.
no, because that was annoying as hell.
It's gonna pop up on their iPod Shuffle and be like,
That
"Is this
would,
gonna be a
like,
song? Is this a
what is
weird
this?
intro
They're just
to
talking
a song?
randomly
What's
for no
going
reason.
on?"
No, we're starting it.
And then we drop the bass.
Then we drop the bass.
We're doing an intro song. Go. Boom 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 boom. Off the border. Boom 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 boom.
This is the Off the Border podcast.
Well, I guess people in my experience like music. But whatever.
This is the Off the Border podcast. This is Steven.
I'm Mark.
And we're watching Tiny Cooks.
We're watching Tiny Cooks.
Tiny Cooks.
Come enjoy watching Tiny Cooks with us, but only in audio format.
So I've thought of the most amazing thing just now. A tiny cooking video, then reviewed by Gordon Ramsay. That would be so amazing.
I feel like he would just complain that it's too small all the time and be like, "Oh, you can't actually taste this." Blah blah blah.
Well, but he would be reviewing it for because who eats these tiny meals? Obviously, people don't. They'd be doing it for like mice or something. So he'd be he's like portion control for the mice. I think it's gonna be nice. I think that mouse is gonna really enjoy it.
What if there was a mouse version of Gordon Ramsay?
Oh my god! And he just squeaks really loud,
mm-hmm.
and it's just like throwing shit,
like the Great Mouse Detective, but Gordon Ramsay.
That'd be amazing. I would love that. I don't know. Would it be a mouse? It'd be a rat. I don't know. Because Ratatouille, he'd probably just be a rat. If they don't have a Gordon Ramsay rat in Ratatouille 2, I'm not going to go see it.
I don't want to infringe on their IP.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're going to make our own Gordon Ramsay rodent, I guess, I don't know, Gordon Ratsy. I guess that's... If we're going with the Great Mouse Detective, I guess we're infringing on their IP. So I guess it doesn't really matter.
Let's just go back. This is just our fan fiction now. It's just
fiction or faction.
Faction.
Science fiction or science fact. Let's go genetically engineer a talking Gordon Ramsay.
So you can tell this is totally Japan because in the little tiny cooking thing, they have a little tiny robot. Like
apparently.
They don't have dolls. In America, it'd be a doll, but that's just straight up robot.
This might actually not be it is a tiny meal, but this actually might be a standard meal for a Japanese person because beef there is actually very expensive.
True.
So this is probably like $20 worth of beef, even though it's the size of your fingernail.
Yeah.
Apparently,
in fact, those are little people from what's that game called?
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. That's even little tiny Animal Crossing people.
At my high school, apparently we had a Japanese exchange student, and like on his last day, before he went back, he went to a local burger place.
Yeah.
And he bought so many hamburgers because beef in Japan is crazy expensive.
Yeah.
And they were like, "How is he putting all this down?" He was like Kobayashi.
Yeah. Well, I've never thought about that.
Hamburgers.
Because that's
why
they eat beef in like Asian countries in Japan.
Yeah, they have the Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe.
But that's really high end
stuff like that. Yeah.
Most they're like an island nation, right? So like,
yeah, so
they have all that
seafood.
Import. Yeah, apparently, Japan's like super big just because the map projection looks small.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the size of the entire American eastern seaboard.
I think
from north to south.
It's one of those things that because they have so many different islands, then like the entirety of what is considered Japan, it's probably
it like reaches from like Maine to the Florida Keys.
It's just like I think the country that has the most islands is Greece, and I think it has something like 30 or something that are all a part of it. So
we don't give a fuck about Greece anymore.
Fuck the Greeks.
Fuck the Greeks.
They've been cool since like 100 BC. So
we don't
get on our level.
We got our own mythology now. We got Avengers. We got Walking Dead and Game of Thrones. We don't need no Zeus.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
We don't need no Hades.
I don't need your fucking Olympus.
We don't need your fucking Olympics.
This Olympus is bullshit.
We got CrossFit now. What's this voice I'm doing? I'm like slipping around from.
And what are you complaining
from
about?
Guido to
what do Greeks have to do with CrossFit?
They started my whatever. Now they're making tiny bacon.
Yeah, now we're making tiny little bacon.
Making shaken. Tiny
I remember
bacon.
I get so mad at watching these stupid videos because I was like, why make something so tiny? You can't eat it. It's so ridiculous. And my friends were like, because it's soothing to watch. And I'm like, no, an ocean is soothing to watch. Making somebody cook and put all this effort into something that wouldn't even be of any real good.
I don't know. When I was a kid, I was really into like tiny stuff, like little shot glasses and pocket knives. But I was also very tiny, so it was practical.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have to use two hands to. Oh, I'm gonna drink this hot chocolate and third-degree burns.
I couldn't play with like tiny stuff like that because my dad always thought it was like for Barbie dolls, so he'd always call me like a fag, and he's like, I don't eat those fags. So I only got to play with big toys. He's like, big boys play with big toys, and I was like, thank you, Dad.
No, put away the butter knife, Steven. Get the chainsaw. Cut your meatloaf with the chainsaw.
Go big or go home.
Go to a different home. Get the fuck out of mine.
Well, one of the biggest toys I always loved getting as a kid was like Cap Gun. Do you remember Cap Guns?
Yes.
They don't make those that much. Or they're just not as, I don't know if they're just not as popular over here.
So the actual gun itself, I remember that always being the expensive part.
Yeah.
But you could buy like so they had the plastic caps that were like the revolver type, and then they had the tape ones. And my parents wouldn't buy us the guns, so we just go outside on the sidewalk with a hammer
and just hit the and just hear him go pop.
I'm like, watch, I'm gonna fold it over. I'm gonna do two. Oh, like,
you do a finger gun and you go and you like do the motion and then you have to hit it. You go bang, got you.
I spent like
like a delayed shot.
Heck, I'm surprised I don't have like mushed up broken fingers now because like I spent a lot of time outside on sidewalks with hammers as a kid.
Wow.
Like, hey, you want some walnuts? Okay, here's a hammer. We didn't have like a nutcracker or anything.
Yeah. I remember I probably had half a dozen Cap Guns growing up, but I just kept breaking them. Like because I mean they're kind of cheap. They're very cheap. So I'd get them and then I'd play with them and then they'd break.
John Wick. You had a full armory of Cap Guns.
I think I was like John Wayne. See, it's a call over to your joke because you have a joke with John Wayne like that. Will you say, will you go John Wayne like that?
Yes, I do.
So
I do George Bush.
You also do George Bush, but I don't have a war to start. Oh, ouch.
Shaboya.
Ouch. Boom. Yeah.
Oh, they have little tiny tinfoil.
Little tiny tinfoil for a little tiny. What are they cooking now? Turkey? Is this a turkey thing? I think they already did the bacon.
Maybe they're making robot food.
They already did the
tiny
bacon.
tinfoil cake of metal for a robot to consume.
This is very possible. Oh, meanwhile. Yeah, we got to pull that up. So have you seen the newest Spider-Man yet?
I haven't. Don't spoil it for me.
It's pretty good. I'm not going to spoil it.
Does he live? Does he survive?
He's got spider powers.
No. Well, now what's the point of saying it?
Yeah. So now I can just give out the rest of it.
I mean, does Iron Man have iron powers? Does Captain...
His suits are always really nicely pressed. So...
True dat. Never a wrinkle.
True. But no, it's really good. Definitely, I think go see it or see it in any capacity that you can.
Does Ant-Man have ant powers?
He doesn't. He doesn't really have ant powers. All he does is get small. I think Ant-Man is a dumb name for that superhero.
I mean, the ants have that like super strength to weight or size ratio, so he has that.
Yeah.
But
and I remember in the movie they explained that he has like some kind of telecommunication with the ants. Because like he's like able to ride one of them, like the one that flies and stuff.
But he don't have antennae.
But he doesn't have antennae.
He's not a cephalopod.
In the comic books he does. So in the comic books it's possible. But in the movie they were like, we don't want to give Paul Rudd some dumbass antennas. Was that Paul Rudd?
Yeah,
I think it was Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
I forget people's names all the time. But hey, are you all caught up in Game of Thrones? We're just gonna keep talking about. Are you caught up with Game of Thrones?
I'm super caught up.
Super caught up
into Game of Thrones.
Okay, well then let's go ahead and give a little warning to anyone who doesn't want to hear spoilers.
Do you want my theory?
Skip ahead. We'll skip ahead like 3 minutes.
Do you want my silly theory and then my real theory?
Yes, I do. But hold on. So yeah, right now for anyone that doesn't want to hear any spoilers, skip ahead 3 minutes, and then we'll give you some time so that way and go. All right, what's your theory? Go.
Oh, my silly theory, or which one's real? Which one do you want?
Do the real one first. We'll go professional. Do your real theory. The
theory that I'm into right now is that Jon Snow is not Azor Ahai reborn, or the prince that was promised. Mm-hmm. That was Rhaegar, and Jon Snow is Lightbringer, the flaming sword.
See, I'm not even into the lore as much.
I don't even know what that
means. I don't even. So hold on, wait. But what is the? Because I've heard the first one. What is the second? What's the Lightbringer?
Lightbringer is a sword that Azor Ahai forged to defeat the others, also known as the White Walkers. He worked on the sword the first time around. He worked on it. He forged it for like 30 days and nights in a row, and then it shattered. The second time, 15 days and nights in a row, and it still shattered. The third time, he forged and worked on it for like 100 days in a row. Then he plunged into the heart of his wife, and then like it caught fire or some shit, and he like defeated the White Walkers with it, or he pushed them back
over the wall,
or something like that.
Over the wall.
So the theory is that Rhaegar like attempted to have like 3 children or some shit.
Yeah.
And then the third child he had, Jon Snow, killed his wife or lover,
and
therefore Jon Snow is the flaming sword in the night.
Wow. And what is the silly theory?
That we are actually, the audience is Azor Ahai reborn, and the series finale is we're going to have to hug our televisions to provide warmth to destroy the White Walkers, kind of like a Tinkerbell, I do believe in magic type thing.
You know, honestly,
actually, I think I got this backwards. The second one was a serious one. The first one was the silly one.
Well, I like that one.
Okay.
I like the hug and the TVs.
Mm-hmm. If you read the books, it makes.
I think it'll be like in
makes sense.
In
if you
Dragon
read
Ball Z,
the World of
Ice,
I think it's been 3 minutes, hasn't it?
No, it's been 2, so we still have a minute of let's just say that if I don't see more of the Hound in this next episode coming up on tomorrow, then I will be very upset because I need more Hound.
I want to see him fight the Mountain.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna happen. There's no way. Like that's not even. I don't even think that's gonna be a spoiler. I mean, everyone sees that coming.
But is the Mountain still the Mountain, or what is he now?
The last thing I'll say is Arya and the Hound are going in the same direction now, so they're bound to catch up together.
And then they get married and live happily ever after.
That's a huge age gap. But it's been 3 minutes. So welcome back to all the
idiots
that don't watch. Okay, in the show it's not that big of a deal, I suppose, but it's a big enough age gap. For those of you listening now who skipped ahead,
we're talking about the Hound and Arya hooking up. I mean, when you look at like the Red Wedding thing, the Tully guy, the Catelyn's brother, right?
Okay,
he was supposed to marry the Frey's daughter, right? Because Rob fucked him over.
Yeah.
And like he was gonna marry like some like I don't know 15-year-old girl or some shit, and he was like 40.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it. I mean, that's still weird.
But it's
the thing.
It's Westeros, bro.
I mean, true.
People grow up fast in Westeros.
Well, true, and they die real quick too. Especially
Westerosi girls find out early how to open doors with just a smile.
But so going away from Game of Thrones to another HBO series, I started watching Westworld.
I was gonna say The Wire.
No, I have not watched The Wire.
I tried to watch
a lot of things about it. Is it like a cop show? Is that what it is? Is it some kind of like police detective thriller?
Yeah.
Something like
it's
that.
Based on that city is where it takes place.
Baltimore?
Balmore.
Oh, I have. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Balmore. I have. Yeah, I've heard about The Wire.
Apparently, it's a really good show. I don't know.
Just haven't gotten full into it. Yeah. But Westworld is really good. Westworld is one of those shows. It's funny to me because I grew up and my dad made me as a robot. No, my dad made me watch a lot of westerns growing up, and one of the ones he did was I would watch a movie and then I'd forget what it was. Like I didn't know what it was. Then years later I'd find out, oh, that's what the movie was. That's what Westworld was. I watched Westworld and I was like, oh, this is like a normal Western movie. And then like the main villain gets half his face blown off, and then when he shows up he's like Terminator, like half his face is robotic, and I'm like, what kind of fucking Western movie is this where there's a android in there? And then for years I'd completely forgotten about it. I had no idea what the movie was, but I still had that scene in my head. And then they came out with like, hey, we're doing a TV show for Westworld, and I was like, Westworld, what the hell is that? And then I see the trailer and I see what they're going with, and I'm like, that sounds really familiar. And then I Googled it and I had my mind blown that I was like, whoa, it's this. That's the movie from when I was like 6 and I saw it.
Wow. How similar? I haven't seen the movie. How similar are they? Like a similar premise, or that's it? Or?
So yeah, similar premise. I've just touched on it. Like I think I'm only in like the second or third episode. So I mean, but yeah, similar premise. And I need to rewatch I actually want to rewatch the movie as well. But yeah, and it seems like it's kind of going the same way. Well, and here's what I'll say is doing well. What I didn't know is that the movie was created and written, I think, and directed by Michael Crichton, who is
the guy from Transformers.
No, Michael Bay.
He doesn't like.
Do not compare Michael Crichton to Michael Bay. I will fight you because Michael Crichton is way better than Michael Bay in 1,000 different ways.
Michael Crichton's the one that had a spat with Megan Fox, and that's why she wasn't in the
yes, you are correct.
Other movie.
Yeah. No, Michael Bay is. Now you have me mixing it up.
Michael Bay, the guy from Jurassic Park.
Michael Bay. So Michael Crichton wrote Jurassic Park and Andromeda Strain, and then a bunch of other movies. Yeah. I think he's arguably one of the greatest.
Tomorrow, Independence Day,
at least American writers.
Die Hard.
Around. Well, he's dead, but he's still the best.
Michael Crichton.
But he directed Westworld, and then they're using that movie, obviously as the basis of the TV show. But watching the TV show, I was like, this seems like a Michael Crichton thing, because it's about a park where rich people go to enjoy some kind of fantasy life that they want to live, but then obviously something in the park goes wrong, and I'm like, oh, that kind of sounds exactly like fucking Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. So it's very Michael Crichton-y, and they kind of set it off. But it's pretty good. It's got, was it Anthony Hopkins is in there?
Michael Caine.
We have to get rid of all of these robots. They're cowboys.
Master
bang, bang,
Wayne.
bang, bang.
You have to fight the robots, Master Wayne.
What's the point of all those push-ups if you can't even wrangle some cows, Master Wayne?
Master Wayne. I have loved you since you were a little robot, Master Wayne.
Master Wayne. But yeah, so that's a pretty good show. It's kind of getting up there. So, how's your comedy going? You been doing any new stuff?
My comedy's going hard. Mm-hmm. I go hard into comedy paint.
Yeah.
You tee me up with that comedy ball, I'm going to knock it out of the park. I'm going to knock that shit out of the park. People be like, yo, this comedy game, going ham.
It's going ham?
Yeah.
It's going full ham?
When it comes to my comedy game, I'm a Bamf.
A Bamf?
Bamf. Because I go ham.
A boy and my father.
Yep.
That's nice.
I have a boyish charm and yet some paternal assertiveness when it comes to my comedy. That's how I would classify it. That's how it goes.
I'm gonna have to try to hit up a lot more open mics between now and the August 17th date.
What's that?
Is
that your HBO special?
HBO.
Is that your Netflix special?
Yep.
Is that your Comedy Central special?
I'm getting all the specials.
Is that your lunch special soup special?
Yep, it's my lunch A and B combo special.
What are you doing? Are you doing a contest or
Oriental
something?
thing? Yeah, I'm going to Magoobies again.
Magoobies.
Trying that out. So,
I really don't know 5 people that would come.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, come.
I would go for you,
but you'd also be there.
Well,
I don't think that counts.
I wouldn't always be. I mean, like I didn't do the last one. I did this one. I think I'm kind of doing every other one. I think is actually what I'm gonna do. Because it is difficult to get 5 people. Because I have to basically go to work and beg people to go, and I'll ask 30 people, and I barely get 5 of them to go. So it is very difficult to get 5 people. But if you can get 4, I'll always be your 5th. I'll always be your 5th man. You can be my 5th man any day.
You'll be my.
And then we'll play some
suitable
heterosexual volleyball.
Drink of vodka.
What?
Do you play volleyball? Do you know how to?
I could never play volleyball.
Do you know how to serve it up and spike it?
No, absolutely not.
Do you know how to set the ball and
dive? I don't play any sport that at all. Just at all. I don't play any sport.
Just could have ended that sentence 2 words ago.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've given them all a try. I've tried baseball and football. I've never really played
sampled
much soccer.
them. You sampled.
Exactly. I sample them.
You just said, "Hey, I don't feel like taking this to the checkout counter."
Yeah.
And paying. I get there's a coupon.
The one that I wish I
don't want all this bratwurst. So.
This is the bratwurst time I've ever had. Oh. High five beneath. But no, I think the one sport that I wish I always stuck with was football. But I just never did. I think it's because when I played it, I had a really bad time.
Did you hear that they did a study of 111 professional football players, and out of those 111, 110 had traumatic brain injury?
Really?
And then they did a survey of all people who've ever played football, like at any level, and like 84% had traumatic brain injury.
Oh, wow.
It's a fucking crazy sport.
That's a lot higher than I thought it was. I kind of felt like some of the concussion and like brain issues that they said that people were having was maybe being overplayed. I had no idea that it was that high.
I don't know if they have I'm sure there's different stratas of traumatic brain injury, and there's mild, severe.
Well, because it's like
dead.
concussion. Concussion's a word that's thrown around all the time.
Right.
You can get concussions all the time.
Yeah.
Just
from
if you roll out of bed and you hit the floor, you can get a concussion. But it's it can be so minor that it doesn't really do anything.
Right.
Well, and you look at who was it? I think Sonny from Sonny and Cher. He died because he hit a tree while he was skiing, and people do that all the time. People do that all the time. You watch fail videos and there's tons of people going skiing and then they hit a tree and then they get up and go, "I'm fine," and he hit a tree and got a concussion and it killed him.
Not fine.
And he was not fine. No, he was not.
Dude. That's crazy. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Tell me what I was going to say.
I know it was about football.
Audience.
Are we going back to football?
Do a brand. Yeah. Do a brand on me. Go back in time.
Yeah, go to Twitter and hashtag and what was I saying off the border podcast and then remind Mark what the hell he was going to say.
Look, they spelled cats up. Cats up.
Oh, I get it. Like a cat.
Like a douche.
That's funny.
Is that the way? I thought they were just being fancy.
Floppy Circus. Thank you, Floppy Circus, for playing the music that we can't hear.
Do you want sound?
No, thank you. I have a hard enough time editing this as it is. Stop it! No! Also, this can be flagged on YouTube if it's more than 10 seconds, so...
I don't know. I don't feel like whoever has the license for this whatever song...
Dude, they get it, man.
I don't think this person has bots. This doesn't sound like a Universal Studios.
I don't know, man. Dude, YouTube's been getting crazy with that stuff, though.
Hey, YouTube.
Well, and just YouTube, and
take your crazy pills.
Google and Facebook and stuff. My sister, she does music all the time. She posted a song that she wrote herself, did herself, and it got flagged for being somebody else's music. And it's what? What? It's my own stuff, man.
That's my own stuff, man.
Own original content.
Look, see, now that's a full-size strawberry. They put in all this effort. They're cutting it with an X-Acto knife. They even had a tiny, very tiny batter mixer.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, full-size strawberries.
Yeah, they cut a grape. That had to be a really sharp knife to cut through that grape. Because have you ever tried to cut a grape in half or something? It's very difficult.
I've seen the video of the surgery robot that cuts the grape and then stitches it back together.
Oh yeah, that's
skin,
crazy.
Little tiny looks like a little Pixar like animation thing.
You know, I know a lot of people when they were talking about that video, were talking about how they would never allow a robot to do their surgery, and I'm like, I totally would. I would 100% would.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, do I trust a robot less than I trust
like a doctor,
some dude,
like a surgeon?
Yeah, that might be tired.
Mm-hmm.
Might be doing 18 hours that day.
I mean, the thing is, isn't it most times too like the robot's not doing it? It's not like an AI unit who is doing a surgery.
It's a tool.
There's a person behind the robot anyway,
Yeah.
but. I don't know. I think I would also be really interesting just to be the first person killed by a robot during surgery. So that'd be cool. I'd be breaking ground.
Dude.
People be really interested in it. So what is this? So what is this guy making now? What's
It looks like some sort of clip.
Oh yeah, it's a crepe.
Nutella clip.
Crepe.
Is he putting pickles on it though? Like, what the fuck?
No, I think it's grape and strawberry, and then sugar.
Whoa.
So I mean, it doesn't. It looks
He is making
good.
some sort of clip.
And then that one's I think apple. It's
Oh,
like apple,
parlez-vous
cinnamon.
français? Would you like some clip? Oh, apple and cinnamon? Dude. What if this guy, he's like a really shitty, like regular sized food cook, but he found his niche.
Oh yeah,
He's like, he just doesn't have like the dexterity. He has, I don't know. He doesn't have the dexterity for large size food, but he has like this tiny foods.
That'd be funny. Like, just like you hand him like batter and say make like a normal sized pancake, and he just makes 1,000 tiny little pancakes. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, I don't know. That's what I do. I just make tiny pancakes. See, I would be interested to know, like, when they make these tiny little meals, how much of that would they have to make?
I got a question for you.
Person? What's that?
When you're eating pancakes,
yes,
I feel like part of the fun of the pancake is that it's like a bread steak.
Okay.
And you get to cut it up and you get to dip it around and make sure your syrup and everything is nicely distributed.
Yeah.
How would you feel about like little cookie-sized pancakes that you don't have to cut up? Would that be less appetizing? I feel like there's like a texture thing that you lose, and you're like, oh, it's just a little communion wafer pancakes. Not very cool.
So I definitely agree with you that eating a pancake is like eating a breadstick.
It's part of the fun.
Yeah, it is part of
eating
fun.
A pancake is that you get to get that.
I don't lose any of the fun of eating like tiny they have a name too, like tiny little disc pancakes. Because I think it's like
is that a thing already?
Yeah.
No, motherfucker.
Disc pancakes or something. I don't know. They have a name too. I think
tiny
that's what
cakes.
they're called. But yeah, no, I like it because it's like eating a flat, like a what's it, French toast stick.
A French toast.
It's like if you take a French toast stick and you flattened it out, and it's kind of like that. Like I like to roll them up. Like I like to roll them up and
Your
almost
pancakes?
like little tiny cigarettes, and then dip them into the thing, and then
What kind of weirdo are you?
and suck the little tiny pancakes. Not a big one. I wouldn't roll up a big one. That's fucking stupid.
Little tiny pancakes.
Just tiny pancakes.
You just described like a crepe though.
Well, there you go. A crepe is just a folded over pancake.
Well,
Yeah. No, don't. Yeah, that's what it was.
clip.
Crepe.
You're not even saying it right. Clip.
Crepe.
No, more throaty. I'm sure people love that sound too.
I'm sure it was amazing. I bet it's gonna come out great.
Everybody with me. It comes from the back of your mouth, furthest as far back as you can go, where your little hood dangly thing is, your tonsil.
Imagine where your uncle was when you were in that
Yeah.
closet together.
Get that gag
all the
reflex
way
going.
back there.
Clip. You sound like a cat. You sound like a cat that's hocking up the fur balls.
Oh, they were making donuts. I totally wasn't even paying attention to what they was making. Oh, it's a donut. Hey, it's a donut.
They made the
It's a donut
donuts.
guy. It's a donut guy.
That's crazy. Donuts or donut hole? We need to fucking stop talking about breaded desserts.
And I'm actually really hungry. I didn't have lunch today.
I didn't have lunch either.
So I'm like starving right now.
I woke up and I did my exercises.
Hey, yo.
Do I look like
You were looking swole,
Do
bro.
I look like Arnold?
Dude, you're looking so swole, bro.
Do I look like Dorian Yates? Do I look like Phil Heath?
Oh, yeah, dude. You're full of Heath.
I look like Phil Heath.
You're like a Heath bar over there.
I am just a shade lighter than him. He's a black guy. He's a black.
If I was a gay man, I'd flip myself over and let you take me. But
that is, I wouldn't.
Well, maybe though.
I don't think gay people just do that. Like, hey, I guess they grinder. So
no, but I mean, well, hey, they could.
Well, hey.
We've
already done 3 hours, dude.
We already done 3 hours. Well, I'm really sorry for all the listeners here for us going off for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But I recently weighed myself and I lost weight, but I didn't weigh myself like before, so I don't know by how much. I just know it's down. I just dipped on. I'm like, that's less weight.
You could go to the moon and you'd also lose weight because the moon has less gravity.
That is the key.
You really want to lose. You want to lose weight. You want to lose mass because mass is the amount of matter in an object, and matter is defined as something that has mass. And you want to lose mass. You don't want to lose weight because weight is like mass times like force.
Just when I thought you couldn't make losing weight sound any more douchey, you take the scientific route.
So you want to lose mass, bro?
I hate talking about health and weight and shit.
Dude,
I hate it so much.
You eating healthy? Eating kale?
I want to stab people when they ask me that question.
You eating that kale, bro?
No. God, no. Like, yeah, I do. I am eating healthier, but fuck kale. I've tried kale.
Blend
like
it.
Shit.
Blend it.
No.
Blend it with some blueberries and mangoes and strawberries.
Kale is not the kill all calories thing. Like, there's other things to eat besides kale.
I know,
I'm sick and tired of hearing kale. If you're listening to this podcast, you're eating kale, then turn off the podcast, turn off your iPod, turn off your iPhone or your Samsung Android, close down the app, and then go jump off a bridge. I'm kidding. I'm not okaying suicide, but maybe you should go do it. I'm just saying.
I eat kale.
Well, then go and do it then. Then go do it. I'm not kidding. I will drive you to the cliff myself.
The thing is,
it doesn't have to be a cliff. You can go into your shower with a toaster on. I don't care. I don't care how you do it.
It's a good source of vitamin A.
Okay.
And it's a green, so it's got, magnesium, which apparently you need. Didn't know that. It's good for you.
The cat's back.
Blend it up.
The cat's back, and it's hogging up kale.
Blend it with some blueberries and mangoes, and then it just tastes like blueberries.
No.
And some mangoes.
See, I try not to eat fruit.
And kale.
I try not to eat fruit, period, because fruit still has sugar in it. And the reason is because I would eat the crap out of fruit. I love fruit. Like grapes. I love grapes. I love melon.
You got fiber, which is good for you. I mean, you're not going to get, you're not going to get the fiber from candy.
True. Well, I don't
vitamins.
Not to eat candy.
Some hydrations.
Yeah. No, normally my meals, we're going to get healthy. Welcome to the healthy section of Off the Border podcast. Normally my meals consist of meat, a green, and a small amount of carbs. So I'll have I think about a cup or half a cup. No, it's about a half. I'll do about a half a cup of rice, and then I have some greens.
Like a half a cup of
not
cooked
a cup.
rice?
What am I thinking? Yeah, of course, cooked rice. What, you think I eat raw rice?
You need like a tub of rice. No, you measure the raw rice. You're like, oh, half a cup. This won't be that much.
No.
And then you're eating like a full pot of rice with every meal. Like, whoa.
No. I cook. I usually cook like a pot of white rice, and I don't know why I say half a cup. It's not a half a cup. I don't know. It's a spoonful. I take like a spoonful of rice, and I put it off to the side, and then I have a little bit of it. Because I try to stick away from the carbs, but not enough that I don't go insane. So.
Do you want to do a weight loss challenge on our podcast?
No.
Me versus you.
No. I have.
You'll win.
Far more weight to lose.
You'll win.
Yeah. So basically, you're just trying to be an asshole. Be like, oh, just try to get you to weight. I hate people. When I go to the gym and people come and talk to me at the gym, I want to stab them. People talk to me at the gym all the time, and I absolutely hate it. Because here's my thing, right? Like, you already got me. I'm already working out. What more do you want from me? You just want to come and talk to me just to be an asshole. Like, leave me the fuck alone. I'm on the treadmill, which is fucking amazing to some people.
Are they just like having like a small talk, or they're like, good job?
Oh, yeah.
I'm proud of you.
I mean, so like that's one thing. If they come over and they're like, hey, good job. I see you're working out. That's cool. I'm like, that's great. Thank you. But then they go like, oh my God. Okay. So let me give you an example. The douchiest thing that's ever happened. I almost punched this guy in his fucking face. I was on the treadmill and This was when I first started working out, so I didn't really know exactly what I was doing. So I was kind of going in just doing whatever, but I'd start with a treadmill, like do 10, 15 minutes. So I get on the treadmill and I start walking, and this guy walks over and he does the, hey man, you're working out. I see you in here a couple times. That's really good. Just keep it going. I say, thank you, sir. Thank you. And it's like an older guy. And then I start putting my numbers up and I start walking a bit faster. It gets to like a 2.5.
Does he tell you to slow down?
He gets next to me. And then he's like, yeah, just keep it going. Keep up a nice, good pace. And I go, thank you.
Does he tell you speed up?
And then I speed it up to like a 4.5, and I start running. And then he goes, hold on. You don't want to go too fast. And then reaches over and pushes down the speed on my treadmill. And I just look at him, and I'm like, I'm gonna punch you in the face. How fucking dare you? Don't touch my machine. Like, ah.
I mean, there's a couple things there. First of all, yeah, that's weird. Second of all, to justify him, he probably thought you're younger than you were, and then you're just like one of those kids, like, I'm gonna go all out and like hurt themselves.
Well, and to be fair, I was bigger at the time than I was.
Yeah.
Because it was, like I said, it was when I first kind of started working, and it was years ago as well. So I was bigger, and a lot of people know that bigger people, it's harder for them to run because they get back issues,
bad on your joints for sure,
and joints and stuff. So I get what he was coming from, but at the same time, I was like, "Fuck off!" Like,
yeah,
it's like, leave me alone. At least, like, it's one thing to give advice, but when you reach over a machine, it's like, I will break your finger and eat it because I'm a fat ass and I will eat whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, I've definitely had that happen to me when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I ever feel like talking to someone at the gym is to justify what. So the leg machine that only the women do, the one that's like you open your legs and close them.
Oh yeah, the hip abductor.
The hip abductor and then the flexor. I do those because they're actually pretty good for your knees. And I have like bad knees. If you do squats all the time, you're only like getting support on the front and back of your knee, and so you also get this here. But like every time I'm on the machine, there's like someone next to me. Like today, there's a dude doing like the stupid like isolation for like tricep push downs.
Yeah.
He was like very close to me because they moved the machines. I want to turn and be like, it's good for your knees. Like I'm not weird. I'm not like trying to crush my dick with this. I'm not working my dick crushing muscles. Squeeze my balls apart. I was like, no, it's good for your knees. You're
good
old.
For the knees. I'm
You're
working
old.
Everything.
You're an old guy. You should do this machine too. It's good for your knees.
So real quick, we're gonna absolutely continue this conversation. But what that does remind me of is because I have more to say. But what that does remind me of is I was watching a like an indie wrestling thing. I don't know where it was from. It wasn't from near here, but it was like some indie wrestling thing, and it was a guy and a girl, and they were like fighting each other, or they were in the same ring. I don't know what exactly was going on, but they were in the same ring together on
Xvideos or RedTube.
No,
okay.
No, that's different.
Okay,
that's off the border after dark.
That's
another podcast.
Very indie.
But no, so like the guy was like making fun of the chick, and then the chick like pushes him and slaps him, and then he goes ho ho, and then she grabs his dick, right? She like grabs his dick, and at first he goes ow, and then he like looks at her, and then he like flexes, and then she acts like her hand is in pain. Where she goes down and goes, like he somehow like, I don't know if maybe he wrapped his dick around her hand and is like squeezing it. Like, I don't know what the implication is, but she's got a hold of his dick and then he's like flexing and then he's like, like that. And then she like gets up and then he grabs her crotch. Like he grabs her crotch and does the same thing to her, but then she looks at him and then she does the same thing where she goes, and she flexes, and then he's like, my hand, and it's like
that one.
What is
could be possible? I can understand that one. I don't understand the earlier one, like.
But right, like exactly, like what is the dick doing that's making you go like my hand? Like it's so girthy.
Yeah, I don't get that. The other one makes.
But the other one makes sense. But it would make sense because she uses the hip abductor. She's got that ability. She's got teeth. She's got teeth down there, and she's able to just clench it. But that's what that made me think of that. But going back to that, I worked at a gym, and my manager of the gym was a power lifter, and I
Right.
started powerlifting with him.
And you're a personal trainer. Got it.
And I am not a personal trainer. Do not come
You
and
were
ask
the
me for
nutritionist.
tips. I know jack diddly
You were the
shit.
dietitian at the gym.
I had Burger King this morning. Do not come and talk to me. But after I started doing that, when people would come and talk to me, I really got mad because I'm like, now I know at least somewhat of what I'm doing. Like I had a rhythm. I came in 3 days a week, every single day, squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, stuff like that. I still did a lot of cardio, and people would still come up to me just because I was still a bigger guy. And I'm like, I'm over here squatting like 325 pounds right now. Can you shut the fuck up? Like that's me now. I'm now squatting a whole entire me on top of myself. So leave me alone. And people would still come up and talk to me all the time. Like they do that thing when you're doing like weightlifting stuff. People always come up to you and go, "You're still doing cardio?"
I've never seen that.
Oh, they do it all the time.
I mean,
because they think you're a meathead. They're like, cardio's still important for you.
The last time someone ever like talked to me at the gym that like they weren't there with me, my buddy had me doing deadlifts, and one guy was like, "It helps if you do them like this." And my friend looked at him like, "No, that's not how you do it. That's like some CrossFit bullshit."
Just lift with your back. Just be completely flat, and then just lift completely with your back. Keep your legs completely straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing, though. You seem in fit, like you seem in shape, and you look in shape. But I'm sure when you're at the gym,
you know
have
what the
that,
secret is?
You look that way. What?
Do you know what the secret is?
High metabolism.
Kale.
Oh, you piece of shit! Piece of shit with that kale.
It's the kale.
But as a bigger guy, like, and I'm sure other bigger guys will tell you, like, that's exactly what it's like. When you're a big guy at the gym, everyone feels like they have to be your personal trainer, and they have to give you some advice. And God, I'm happy now. Like, the gym that I go to, no one's done that to me yet. Everyone at my gym is super antisocial. They don't talk. They don't look you in the eye. And it's like, good, keep it that way.
The only people I ever really see that kind of like would even need someone to tell them, like, hey, you're gonna hurt yourself. It's probably the younger, like the high school, middle school kids.
Yeah.
They come in, they just wanna jerk around with the free weights. But then like, if you hurt yourself, then you're gonna recover quick. So whatever.
Yeah. So I think that's why people tend to like leave them alone, because they're like, whatever. They'll able to break themselves.
Yeah.
They will spring right back. Yeah, I love watching young people go to the gym. It is the most.
Those young
thing on the
people,
planet.
like 20. Those
20
20-year-olds.
Thinking like 17-year-olds are the best.
So long ago for us.
I love watching 17-year-olds at the gym. That sounds
We were
inappropriate.
we were children back then.
God, yeah.
We are full-grown adults and have seen the world and know things now.
We know nothing. Off the Border podcast.
For sure.
That goes back to the Game of Thrones.
To the Game of Thrones.
Do you believe in Jon Snow?
Do they have gyms, or do they just... We should just not have gyms. We should just sword fight all the time, because apparently that's what they do.
I always wondered what was the when the idea of a gym came about. Like who thought of a bench press? Because when you think about like how ancient people like got healthy or stayed healthy, that's just because they had a lot of fucking work to do. Like they would get sick ass calves because they'd have to go get buckets of water down by the well, which was down the hill, which was half a mile away. So they'd have to go fill up 2 buckets, put it on a stick, put it on their back, and walk all the way back. That's how they got their fucking workout.
They had like monkey toe muscles because they didn't really wear shoes.
And then at some point people stopped doing that, and then someone was like, we need like a place that we can get like bigger muscles and stuff.
I would guess the Romans.
Yeah, I think the Romans had stuff like that.
I mean, they had
but
like,
that was basically just most for like naked wrestling is really
they had like saunas that people would go to.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Bathhouses.
Yeah, bathhouses.
And they were filthy too.
And they would scrape their skin to exfoliate. And
oh yeah. And they had porn.
And
they
had amateur wrestling porn.
Yep.
Where people would grab each other's wieners.
Yep. And then they'd flex then they'd hurt their hands because they'd wrap their dicks around each other's hands.
Right.
Be like, ah.
Ah.
No. Yeah. And when they looked at Pompeii, the city that got ashed over, they found a bunch of porn on the walls of like the bathhouses, like straight just porn, just that they mosaicked.
And somebody was like, "No, that That wasn't mine. That was Vesuvius did that. That was just a coincidence.
That was the Vesuvius. Yeah, she was clothed, and then the ashes took the clothes off.
The ashes did it.
And now she's naked.
That's just a coincidence. It looks like boobies.
One of the funniest things I read recently when I was reading about something that like some kind of statue that they found in Mexico that was like an ancient Aztec statue, was that it was found in like 1880 or something like that, or maybe 1860. Like somebody found it and was like, "Oh, look at this cool ancient statue."
Dude, what kind
that's
of egg is that? Hold on.
I think that's like a robin egg, right? It's got to be something like that.
Okay.
And they're separating the yolk? Oh, that seems so painstaking. I would never do that.
What if they're making
They're taking all those bad carbohydrates out, or cholesterol.
What if they're making that thing where you whip up the egg white with the sugar?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
And then you toast it.
I'm not a chafe.
Like a creme pouf.
Like a creme pouf.
Anyway, so Mexico statue.
But yeah, so they found like this statue,
and it was
like the way the
Oscar
statue
de la
looked,
Hoya.
It was very terrifying. So they dug it, so they put it back, and they just put dirt over it again, and then they refound it again like 1990 something. And I'm like, that's so funny that like some archaeologist person found something and was like, that's fucking ugly, and they just put it back.
That's spooky. No,
and just dug it up again. And like, hey, did you go out and find anything on that little hike you were doing? Yeah, I found some creepy ass Aztec statue. I just kept it there in the ground. It's fucking weird. But I love that. It's like, man,
I felt like whoever left it there was going to come back for it.
Especially the Aztecs, you know, the people who by this time were completely and utterly
like when
dead.
You're a kid and like you find like a cap on the ground, you're like, mommy, look, a free cap. Your mom's like, just leave it there. I'm sure whoever forgot it will come looking for it again.
Bullshit.
You're like,
bullshit.
Could have had a cool, dirty hobo hat.
Yeah, dirty hobo hat.
My mom wouldn't let me.
Of a baseball team.
Thanks,
don't
Mom.
Even care.
Can I take the statue with me? Can I explore the ruins? No. Fine.
I guess.
Just a 40-year-old paleontologist.
So, favorite ethnic food, go. Since we're watching food now, we're gonna talk about it. Favorite ethnic food, go.
I mean, Panda Express is pretty good.
That barely counts as ethnic food.
I mean, beefy.
It's the Taco Bell of Asia.
You saying Taco Bell doesn't count because beefy 5-layer burritos.
If you talk to a Mexican person and ask them, "You want to go get Mexican food?" You take them to a Taco Bell, they'll stab you. They could be the whitest.
I have done that
on
multiple occasions, and they're like, "Yo, this shit is awesome."
Then they're not Mexican; they are Puerto Rican, and that does not count.
Nope.
Yeah.
Look, let me show you something. Look behind you.
Yeah.
There.
Okay,
that's pretty much Mexico, dude.
He just pointed to a place in Texas.
That's pretty much Mexico.
Pretty much Mexico, but it is not Mexico.
It's pretty much.
It is not Mexico, so it is still American.
The bottom half of that state might as well be Mexico.
Might as well just give it back to them. I mean, I agree. I think Texas needs to lose some of itself anyway. We need to just give it back to them.
It's Mexico with U.S. infrastructure. There you go.
Fair enough. Nogales is the same way.
Okay.
And Nogales is southern Arizona.
And you say I can't like beefy 5-layer burritos? I like chicken enchiladas. That's my legit favorite.
All I'm telling you is I had a Mexican friend, and I said, let's go get some Mexican.
When I think ethnic food,
and then I took him to Taco Bell, and he almost fucking stabbed me.
To me, ethnic food is like just that term. I don't think like ethnicities. I always think somehow like Middle Eastern for whatever reason.
Really?
I always think of like third world country.
Okay, yeah, like
I think like Indian
curry,
shish kebabs.
I think a lot of curry. Whenever I hear ethnic food, I think curry for whatever reason.
I don't think like Italian.
Yeah,
that's not ethnic to me.
But okay, then favorite foreign food is
chicken enchiladas.
Okay, so Mexican is your answer.
I like sushi.
Okay, so Asian. That is Asian.
Ethnic food.
Except for California rolls, ethnic that is American.
Food sounds dirty to me. like it's just a harsh word.
Well, hey man, that's your thinking, not mine. Ethnic. I can't help you with that, man. If you think it's dirty.
Ugh. ethnic food.
Ethnic.
Yeah. Where's the beef stroganoff, Mom?
It's
not on the menu.
I've always been a huge Asian food guy. I love Asian food. Japanese mostly, but Chinese as well. I always told my mom I wish she was Asian, so that I could always have Asian food. Like she'd look at me and I'd be like, "Mom, I wish you were Asian, or I wish I got an Asian mom."
You could probably have an.
I think she was offended. I don't
know. Maybe.
Because she was Southern, so she knew how to make some good Southern food, but I was just always like, I wish you knew how to make some chicken kung pao. Chicken kung pao.
Chicken kung pao.
Oh, but while we're on it, so I just have this. Oh, I can't remember if I told you or not. And I don't think I told it on the podcast.
Is it racist?
No. Well, possibly. No.
Hopefully.
Me and my sister and one of her coworkers went to an Asian place. I can't remember what it was called, but it's like an authentic one, right? Where the people that work it and own it are Asian from whatever country they respectively came from. I wasn't sure which one, but they were authentically Asian.
China buffet.
They come by and they bring a tray, like a giant cart filled with food, and then they start pointing at the food, but then speaking a foreign language that none of us understand. And so they're like pointing, they go, I don't want to just have racist.
Yang Tong Chang.
Okay, since you started, I'll do it. They're like, Chingong bye-bye? Chingong bye-bye? And I'm like...
You're going a little too hard on the CHs. Dude, you sound racist. Mine sounds legit.
Okay.
I'll be the person.
Okay, so you do it.
Yang Chang Tong.
What?
Ching Tang?
Yes.
Yang Dong Dong Hang Tang?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Yang Tong Tong Tang.
So that happens. Okay, Jackie Chan, reel it back. Yeah. So they do that, and then they point at the food, and then look at us, and we're like...
Jackie Chan Adventures, by the way. That was the script from Jackie Chan Adventures.
So it was,
the Tiger Medallion episode.
Cantonese version. So they point at the food, and they say that, and then we're like, yeah, absolutely. And they take this bowl, and they scoop some stuff into it, and then they give it to us. And no idea what it was. No idea. And then we go, oh, okay, we're good. Thank you. Because they keep offering us different stuff. We go, okay, no, thank you. And then they leave. And then my sister's like, I think you should give it a try. And I'm like, I can't even tell what it is. It's like a mystery meat. I have no idea what it is. And I put it on my plate and I cut it up. I give it a try. And then my sister tells me, oh, it's tripe. And I go, how about you tell me it's tripe next time? Because I never given tripe before. So I know what it was like. It was so weird. Have you ever had tripe?
Yes, I don't like it.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I mean, I wasn't going to say it was bad, but it was not what I like. It was very squishy. I like squishy. I like meat that fights back when you chew it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very weird. Oh, and then she got me to, I ate a heart. Like I picked another meat thing out, and I'm like, I don't even know what this is. And my sister's like, well, I think you should try it. And so I ate it. And then
your sister knew exactly what everything was?
No, she knew. Oh yeah, she knew exactly what it was. She was like, yeah, that was like a chicken heart. And I was like, why didn't you tell me it was a chicken heart? And then I pulled something else out and I tried it, and I'm like, well, this tastes like mud. She goes, that's probably a liver. And I go, is it a liver? And then she looks at it and goes, yeah, that's a liver. And I go, well, again, fucking thank you for telling me.
I don't mind liver. Liver's interesting.
I didn't like it. It was like eating dirt. Yeah. And you like eating dirt? Mm-hmm. Oh, well. If you're that close to Mexico, that's all you got to eat, right?
Hey-o.
What time are we at?
I don't know, but there's probably people outside that are listening to me, and they're like, first of all, I don't know if you notice in this area or not, but like people are like really kind of like standoffish. Like my neighbors do not want to engage with me.
No.
I mean, I can kind of see that. Like, hey, here's this weird young guy that lives in this kind of family area. And every now and then he's working on his car. He's working on his own car. Why doesn't he just take it to the Firestone? Oh, what a weird redneck kid. Or some shit. And they're like, ugh.
Yeah.
I can kind of see like how that'd be weird here. Because they're all very business classy type people. And, this is the...
Well, also I think too that a lot of people here don't have cars. There are a lot of people that do, but I know.
Well, everyone here has a car.
Yeah. But a lot of people, they do take the transit and Ubers and taxis.
I'm just saying my neighbors are douchebags. They don't want to talk to me. They don't want to be my friend.
Yeah. As they're walking outside, and they're like, well, this is fucking why, asshole. Because we can hear you through your walls calling us douchebags.
Maybe.
Speaking of weird neighbors, I can't remember if I ever told you this story.
You did, but not on here.
Not on here. I'll tell it again on here because it's a pretty funny fucking story. So my sister was gone for work reasons for about a month, and her car was in our driveway or out in front of our home. Our neighbor had noticed that the car wasn't moving, and I come out one day, and she goes, "Hey, is your sister okay?" We don't talk to her, by the way. We don't talk to her at all. Like, and she doesn't even talk to us. Like, when we say hi, she looks at us like a fucking weirdo person from a horror movie that watches people drive by.
I can relate.
Just staring at you. And so I come out, and she goes, "Hey, is your sister okay? I haven't seen her in a while." I go, Yeah, she's just been away on a trip, and she left her car here." And she goes, "Oh, okay, I got it." And then she's like, "Yeah, I thought she was dead in there." And I was like, "What?" She's like, yeah, but I guess she's just gone." And I think what offended me more was just that it's like, not that that you think my sister's just dead and like she's in there, but that like I wouldn't move her. Like, yeah, my sister's dead and I just keep her out near the window where I brush her hair occasionally is like some kind of fucking Alfred Hitchcock movie. It's like, so fucking weird. What a fucking weird way to say it. It's so weird.
It's probably like they're like, joking but not joking. I want that parking spot. Like, that was probably what they're getting at. Like, now that we're friends and I made a joke with you, can you move the car?
Well, she doesn't have anyone over the house, so she doesn't need it. She would just want to park her car
in 2 spots,
horizontally instead of vertically, like everyone else. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
What a weird person.
Weird neighbor. So seriously, what time are we at now?
5 million hours.
You just look at the
after the Big Bang
time. If I have to get up and go over there and look at it, I swear to God, I'm kicking your knee.
The quarks and the hydrogens are starting to bond and form the foundation of what we will call the universe.
So is that 45 minutes?
Billions and billions on our spaceship through the cosmos.
Mark.
The ship of the imagination is what he calls it.
Mark.
What's up, bro?
How long have we been jabbing away?
Billions.
God, Mark, just look at the time.
Una hora.
I don't speak your taco language. I
Dos
need you to
minutos.
speak English.
Y 20. However you say seconds. An hour, 2 minutes, and 20
I know
something
venti
seconds.
is from Starbucks, and I don't know anything else that you said.
Venti means 20. Remember that movie?
No.
Venti means 20.
God. I almost feel I should know the movie. What's the movie?
Tell her you love her whispering guy. Her whispering guy. It means vagina. It means role models.
Oh, God. I don't think I ever saw that whole movie.
I mean, I guess we've been doing about an hour.
What do you mean you guess? What does it say? It says on there how long
Right,
it's
but I hit record before we actually started getting into it. That was about 4 minutes in. So I guess we've done like 58 minutes at this point.
58 minutes, okay.
I suppose.
You suppose? God, I get so nervous. It's like, he's going to cut his finger. We're still watching tiny cooking videos.
Tiny cook.
Tiny cook. Tiny
Come
cook.
on, everybody, we're doing tiny cook. Cook.
Ni hao kai lan.
Should we just finish the
I think we should.
podcast
I think we should.